analyzing the globalists' next move. And now, the David Knight Show.
And so we have no interest in the laws that we have here in the United States in terms of abortion are not directed at the women. They're directed at the killers. I fully support all of these laws, and they need to be stopped. How in the world can we say we need to have a world war because of 40 babies killed in a village, and yet we turn our back on this Holocaust that has been going on for 50 years, most of my adult life? Well, we had Lala Harris saying that protecting babies from abortion is immoral. Listen to what she had to say.
After someone has survived a crime of violence to their body, a violation to their body, that they cannot have the authority to make a decision about what happens to their body next.
That's right.
That is immoral.
That's wrong.
It is immoral.
Say it.
Yeah, well, the problem is that baby is not your body. That's somebody else that you're doing that to. This is a woman who didn't have a problem with doing whatever she wanted to do to your body. She could tell you that you had to put a mask on your body. She could tell you that you had to lock your body away. She could tell you in a lockdown, she could tell you that you had to inject an untested genetic modification thing into your body without your consent. Stop with this my body, my choice stuff. These hypocrites, these lying murderers, and they want to lead us into another world war. You want to follow these monsters into a war? John Adams said, we don't go abroad looking for monsters to destroy. Well, guess what? Our monsters here at home, like her, like Biden, like Trump, like Nikki Haley, on and on, those monsters want to lead us into a war, a holy crusade against foreign monsters. Well, I'm not following any monsters, and I hope you don't either. We need to put them where they belong. Now, let me put this in context, because when I first heard that, I thought, wow, you've survived an attempt on you, and now you're going to be attacked again, is the way she describes this. And she's talking about abortion in the context of rape. Well, let's listen to what an abortion survivor says about surviving an attack on you, on your body, as a baby.
I'm adopted, and my biological mother was 17, and so was my biological father. She was 7.5 months pregnant when she decided to go to Planned Parenthood, which is the largest abortion provider in the world, and they counseled her to have a late-term saline abortion, which is a saline salt solution that is injected into the mother's womb. The baby gulps that solution, it burns the baby inside and out, and then she is to deliver a dead baby within 24 hours. And to everyone's great shock and surprise, I didn't arrive dead but alive on April the 6th, 1977 in a Los Angeles County abortion clinic. What's fantastic about this, about the perfect timing of my arrival, is that the abortionist was not on duty yet. So he wasn't even given the opportunity to continue on with his plan for my life, which was death.
Yeah, well, let's listen again to one of these feminists complaining about women's rights, not concerned about the baby.
After someone has survived a crime of violence to their body, a violation
An abortion.
to their body.
An abortion. Survive that abortion.
They cannot have the authority to make a decision about what happens to their body next.
Yeah. What about her rights? What about the baby's rights? That is immoral. It is immoral. You are immoral, you feminist piece of filth. Nobody but Lala Harris could be that dense to make that kind of an argument. But of course, you hear the amen corner there. Amen, sister, amen. You tell them. That's it. How dare these Democrats and Trump, how dare them minimize the murder of 60 million babies? And, you know, people like Nikki Haley, who is, we need a wider war. We got to go to war with Iran. Let's get in that. No, never does she see a war anywhere that she doesn't want to get in. And, of course, she's another one of the Republicans saying, well, we're not going to do anything about abortion. Yeah, it's too harsh. It's too harsh. The guy made $70 million a year. He's killed 1 million babies. He walks about freely, or flies on his private jets, or goes on his luxury yacht, or whatever he does with that $70 million that he's made. The baby is not your body. But Lala, you supported vaccine mandates. You did that to other people's bodies. The hypocrisy of this. And I'm not saying that we don't get angry and defend babies' lives. It's just that I see this over and over again. Every headline coming out now about the Israeli-Hamas conflict. Babies murdered, babies murdered, babies murdered. Yeah, how about 60 million babies murdered? And the Republicans are running scared because the Supreme Court put the ball in their court. They don't want that. She said, and Lala says that Americans, quote, appreciate that on this issue, one does not have to abandon their faith or their deeply held beliefs to agree the government should not be telling her what to do with her body. Wait a minute. You violated people's deeply held beliefs. You violated their bodily integrity. You violated their religious beliefs to mandate the jab. How dare you, you lying piece of hypocritical filth. Lala Harris. During her own presidential run, she proposed a plan under which states with a, quote, pattern of violating Roe v. Wade, quote unquote, because she ran for president, 2020, before the Supreme Court decision. Finally, you had some people in the Supreme Court decision that read the Constitution. Wait a minute. Under the 10th Amendment, we don't have any authority to do this. Let's kick it back to the states. And yet, how many Republican candidates do you have? Virtually all of them. I think DeSantis is the only one that I've seen who says this decision belongs in the states. We can lead from the federal government, but let's not make this a federal thing again. Anyway, so that if states have a pattern of violating Roe v. Wade, were there any states that were violating Roe v. Wade? No, they all fell in line. And that's why I say, even though the federal government has no authority to make any decision one way or the other about when life begins or about abortion, that is a state decision. It's a state decision. It's not the Supreme Court's decision. The judicial branch doesn't have the power to do that. And neither does the legislative branch, and neither does the executive branch. And yet you have these people like Mike Pence and so many others, Tim Scott, Chris Christie, all of them, Trump, all of them want the government, the federal government, because they want that issue there. They don't want to save babies' lives. Because as I've told you before, even though the federal government did not have it for 50 years, we killed over 60 million babies. And because everybody, all the conservatives went along with whatever the federal government said. The left is not going to go along with any federal mandates that say you can't kill a baby. They're going to violate that. And they will get away with violating that because there isn't any way that you're going to be able to enforce that with the 10th Amendment. But if they get control, they will federalize it, and then the Republican states will fall in line. I'm telling you now, that's what will happen. Do not federalize this issue.
Let me tell you, the David Knight Show, you can listen to with your ears. You can even watch it by using your eyes. In fact, if you can hear me, that means you're listening to the David Knight Show right now. Yeah. Good job. And you want to know something else? You can find all the links to everywhere to watch or listen to the show at thedavidknightshow.com. That's a website.